Cooking with Susie is an episode of Rugrats that I did remember from my childhood. As soon as I saw those green blobs of goop, it immediately took me back to this episode. This is the second segment of the 22nd episode of the 6th season of Rugrats. And in this one, Susie has the Cynthia Easy Cook oven. I think it was a really interesting choice to make Susie have the oven rather than Angelica, but it worked very well because Angelica is actually very jealous that Susie has this. Now, I think it's quite interesting when she told the babies to lie and say that they actually liked Susie's Reptar cereal bars. Those are the green, kind of goopy but kind of solid concoctions that Susie bakes in this oven. And it's interesting that Angelica tells the babies to lie because I thought she would have taken any opportunity to hurt Susie's feelings. But by telling the babies to lie and say they actually like them, she was kind of sparing Susie's feelings. So it was an interesting choice, but it's not that she was doing it for her own good, because actually it meant that Susie would make more Reptar cereal bars and the babies would have to eat them even though they didn't like them. So Angelica was getting some satisfaction about telling the babies to tell a white lie, but at the same time, I'm just surprised she didn't take that opportunity to tell the babies, to tell Susie bluntly that they were horrible and hurt her feelings. So it was an interesting motivation. It worked though, it did work, but I was quite surprised. In terms of the animation, I love the design of the Reptar cereal bars. I love the bright green colour. They do somehow look like they're solid, but also goopy and sticky, and that's a weird combination, but it works very well animated. It is a bit bizarre that Susie's over at Tommy's house with her oven, but I guess it's the way it had to go to make the narrative work, and it did work. We also have Stu working on this invention that will open a door at a certain degree, or keep it open at a certain degree, which felt random, but then ultimately what happened with it I thought was pretty interesting. And I guess I'll discuss with a spoiler warning what happens. But first, I want to tell you a quote that I absolutely loved. So this is a spoiler for what I consider to be the best moment in the entire episode, because I genuinely splutter laughed. It amused me. So a tiny spoiler for something that's funny. But Stu says his invention needs needs a few minor adjustments, and without missing a beat, Grandpa retorts, "Your head needs a few minor adjustments." It amused me so much. I really thoroughly enjoyed that line. I thought it was very effective and very entertaining. So I guess a big spoiler for what happens at the end of the episode. And again, it was kind of atypical of Angelica, because at the end of the episode, she decides to actually team up with Susie and use these goopy solid Reptar bars as door stoppers, helping Stu to overcome the problem that he was having with his wacky invention. Not only did Angelica help Susie to make the best of her disgusting inventions, but Angelica also let Susie take the credit, because somebody, I can't remember which of the babies, but somebody said, "I wonder where Susie got that idea from," and Angelica just complimented Susie, and it was really sweet. And Angelica, considering it was her idea, she could have taken all of the credit, and she didn't. So I don't know if this is a turning point for the character, if we see her starting to be nicer, or I guess more fair going forward, or if this is just a one-off. I don't know. I'm keen to see. But the episode I thought was very well written, very well animated, and Angelica was a surprising character, but of course very likeable, and I love Susie as well, so that was great. It doesn't surprise me, I remember this one from my childhood, and watching it now, I really thoroughly enjoyed it.